Hello, my friends. August 16th, 2018. This is Danny D here from Solicitous Comics. I've got four new ones for you today. Two are a little different than the norm that I usually do, but I'm going to plug them anyway. I think they're a little interesting and it's a little something different. Our first one is called Anna, issue number 1. I guess they're doing a couple of these. There's only 8 days left in this. I don't know why this hasn't popped up on my radar before. He's looking for a goal of $850. He's got $241. Very interesting storyline that he's giving here. It says this person is forced to collect the souls of the damned if he ever wants to see his child again. And in the little writing here, it says he has to work for the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse and collect the damned souls that are walking among the living. Interesting premise. For some reason, I think of a TV show that some guy was collecting tattoos or something years ago. Can't remember. And the movie Priest. Those are the two things that kind of come to mind. It looks like it's set in Western times. As I scroll down here, you will see what I mean. I mean, here's a village of Indians that, are being removed rather violently, shall we say. And it looks like what he's doing is damning his soul. The art is very raw. Is the only way I could describe it. It's a very raw looking art. That's all the art that they show here. So I can't show you any more. They don't have any up there either, but I do like the style of it. It's very interesting. His perks: $6 for a physical copy, $1 tip for wallpaper and concept art, $3 for a digital copy, international, $6 for a physical copy, $20 for a limited edition. Welcome to English as a second language, and a wallpaper. Okay, the limited edition includes concept art, special cover, so it won't be the cover that's on the other, which is nice, and it's signed. $50, which is his last perk. $50 gets you all of his comics, issue 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2 more items, but it doesn't say what the items are. And this $50 actually pre-orders the ones that they have not put out yet, I'm assuming. It's got bonus art, variant covers. Interesting. That's a lot for $50. I wonder how. Doesn't say how big his comic is planning to be. 24 page. So it's pretty much a normal comic. So $50 isn't bad for a normal size comic. It's not a 48 pager like some of the bigger ones. And I mean, $6 for an international shipping for a copy, and $3 for a digital copy. $6 for, I mean, that's pretty much reasonable. You think about it. Again, like I've said before, these guys are using high quality paper. They're using higher quality ink. It's pretty reasonable. Well, that's our first one, Anna. I'll go to our next comic type one, and then I'll do the 2 strange ones at the end. Torn. This one really piques my interest. I like the art in it. There's not very much of it here. or I shouldn't say that. They don't show a lot, is how I should probably state it. Let me scroll through. It's your typical comic book type design. I'm assuming those are your heroes. And here's my favorite picture of them all, because everybody knows that every once in a while, hey, after fighting bad guys, here in the States, we call it a sub. A sub and a cold drink could probably be pretty good after you kick some butt. The story behind this, I thought, was very interesting. They don't go into detail. I really wish these guys would put videos, just a short 2-minute video and telling the story. But from what I understand, a UFO is sighted in Australia. And all of a sudden they get hyperhumans, as he describes them here, which I'm assuming are like mutants, except it sounds like the UFO is the ones that are manipulating the human DNA. Interesting premise. So they're not born, they are made, which I would tend to believe that they can make whatever they want depending on manipulating the DNA. There's a month left on this. Their goal's $1,000. They are at $22, and that's AUD. I'm assuming that's Australian money. I actually thought they used the pound like Britain, but I assume I am incorrect after seeing AUD, because that to me would sound like Australian dollar. So remember that if you buy this and you're in the States, there will be an exchange rate. And like I said in other ones where there's exchange rates, do your homework and find out when you can get the best price for your exchange. When I used to live in Canada and come to the States, for us, we would exchange our Canadian for American money on a Wednesday because we got the best bang for our buck. And we would exchange our American money to Canadian money on a Friday because we would get our best bang for the buck. So look into that. Sometimes you can save a penny or two. But anyway, that's that one, Torn. If you like these, back them. Now to our first obscure one. And I'm not saying this in a bad way. I think this is a very interesting concept here. I've never seen anybody do this before. This lady is an illustrator. She always wanted to go to Iceland. She went there, which I find comical, with her other two. She's one of 3 triplets. She went there with her siblings. They visited Iceland, and as they were going through, she was collecting some of the folklore stories and some of the little anecdotes of the place, and she was drawing little tiny cartoons. As you can see in this picture here, it looks like she took a photograph and then drew a cartoon over it. All sorts of stuff, and I'm assuming she writes about where she is and what the little cartoons are talking about. It's very I don't want to say the word immature, because you'll see in a picture later, she is a very good, you can see that her meticulous artistry is trying to pop out, but she pulls it back. She really tones down her artistic talent and she just lets it flow. Let's put it that way. As you can see here, that nothing is really to scale, but if you look at the mountains, look how the mountains are drawn, and you can tell that the meticulous artist in her was drawing the mountains, and then when she got to the housing and tents, she just whimsically drew them. There's the word I'm looking for. It's a very whimsical style of art. Same with her figures here. But there's one, the books. The chair is whimsical. The books are almost at a strict art I don't know how else to describe it. She's the goat. This is the one that really popped out at me. Look at the goat's head. The goat's head is very, very detailed, but then when she draws the body, it's kind of whimsical, and everything else around her is whimsical. This is basically about her trip, what she saw, what she experienced. I mean, that's beautiful. Like there, you can see her, the type of artist she is. That's an amazing drawing with the bee and the flowers. But then she goes back to the whimsical on the other page. She is a professional illustrator, and she drew this book when she was visiting, which was a couple of years ago. In her statement, she describes that. I think it's an interesting idea. If you want someone's perspective of a different country, different culture, they've never been there before, and they decided to write about it and draw about it, by all means, grab this book. This is in Great Britain pounds, again, not US dollars. She's got 18 days left. She is looking for £1,000. She is at 648. I hope she raises it. This sounds like a very, very interesting project. Let me scroll down here. I think she does have a little bit more art. Again, she's got real pictures here, and she draws something in the middle of the picture, just goofing around. So you're not just seeing drawings, you're seeing actual places, drawings, and her own input on these things that she's experienced. This looks really cool. Really cool. That drawing there is her. That is not her drawing. That's funny. That's the cover she has on the table. So disregard when I thought that was her drawing. That was my mistake, my slight faux pas. All right, for her perks. $9 gets you a signed book and a postcard. That's pretty cheap. $2, an original drawing. It's more or less a tip. $5, pounds. I keep doing that. £5 gets you a digital copy of the book. £35 gets you 5 copies of this book, and that's the last perk she has. And like I said, this is different. This is nothing like I've seen before in this. Now, our last one. This one is a comic that is being written about a cosplay player. She is, as a friend of mine would say, she is thick. She is a real person as far as I could tell. And she is as big as they're drawing her in this. She's not what I would call a petite woman. There's a month on this. She's looking for a goal of $3,000. She is at $60 so far. I am not going to even attempt to pronounce what that word is supposed to be. I'm assuming it's a Japanese or Chinese word. Yeah, I guess I should have researched that, but I didn't. Oh well, too bad, so sad. But this person is a real cosplayer. I've seen 3 different women that seem to be cosplayers that have that name. One was the size that she is. The other 2 were a lot smaller. One was actually a Playboy bunny. I don't know if they're all one and the same. I don't know if she did an N and a Cole. But this is not for the young'uns, shall we say, as you can see by the art. I'm not exactly sure what this is, but having researched the word that I did not want to attempt to to enunciate, I ended up on some sites that were, let's say, fairly risque comics, cartoons. So again, not something that I would say I would steer kids towards. Anyway, she only has 2 perks, a $1, and that's access to the development process. Don't know what that is. I don't know if they give you access to their website where they're drawing and stuff. And $10 for a digital copy. This person's been doing comics, video games for the past 10 years, a little bit more. And again, there's that word. I don't know what that word is. Like I said, this is for an adult. If you're interested in something like this, hey, this is different enough. It's definitely not SJW. I mean, she definitely does not look butch. It's very, very much a feminine character with all the little hearts in that. I do like the fact that they do that. They're not trying to make some butch thing. She's not afraid to show off her curves. So if you're interested in this, back it. As usual, all the links will be down in the description. Like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Tomorrow's Friday, so I will be doing a Friday wrap-up. Red Rooster will be ending, a few others will be ending, and I will be throwing those up there as the last chance. Usually that's what I do on a Friday. All right, folks. This is Danny D from Solicitous Comics, and I hope you guys have a fantastic day.